Bradford. I'm joined by our Wolves correspondent here at the Express and Star, Mr. Tim Spears. Tim, Nuno is not one for sentiment at Wolves, let's be honest, but could this weekend finally be the time when we see a lot of youngsters on the pitch?
I hope so. I do hope so. Look, there are a number of players who haven't featured for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Who could feature in this game. I feel like they've played a part in this special end to the season. You know, it's been a bit of almost a ceremonial couple of weeks. You know, promotion's been confirmed for a little while now, and yeah, there are a number of players who are desperate to play.
Yeah.
As you say, Nuno isn't one for sentiment, but Wolves have got the easiest game of the season on paper, an already relegated, decimated Sunderland team who just can't win for love nor money anywhere really, but let alone on their own ground. So Wolves only need 1 point as well to reach the 100-point mark, and I'm sure they can get it. And it'd just be nice to see, certainly the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White, who, believe it or not, still hasn't started a league game this season. He's made 12 consecutive sub-appearances now.
Yeah.
Made a really decent contribution in pretty much every one of those, even if he's only come on for kind of the last 10 minutes. And I think if you look at the three players who are potentially going to the World Cup this summer, it's your central midfielders. It's Neves, who's likely going to be going with Portugal. It's Saïss, who's certainly going with Morocco. And it's Njai, who's probably going to go with Senegal. So the last thing they're going to want is to pick up an injury. You know, a bit of a Lee Catamol, rough Lee Catamol challenge. You know,
he's good for him, isn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. So put you out for a few weeks. So anyway, I've said for a little while I'd love to see Morgan Gibbs-White start one of these kind of last two games of the season. I think it'd be great for him to come in. But there's certainly a few options. You've got Ruben Vinagre, who hasn't played a league game since December the 15th. Been quite a long time for him to not be involved. Ian Bakari's just come back from injury. Brighton and Bakari, maybe he could get a start. And then a couple of defenders. Courtney Hawes played 7 league minutes all season. It'd just be great because there is going to be pressure to this game in terms of the fact that Wolves are desperate to reach the 100-point mark. They're desperate to beat every team in the league, which is what they'll do by beating Sunderland. And I think it'd be great to see these players in that environment and see if they can handle it. Rafa Mir would be another one. Hasn't played for a while. Will Norris yet to play in the league for Wolves as well. And Leo Bonatini as well. He'd be desperate for a goal. December the 4th was his last goal, so he'd love the chance to start. But you've got to counteract that with the fact that all the guys that have been there this season and played almost every game, they'll want to finish it off by playing the last game. But equally, I think the likes of John Ruddy wouldn't begrudge, you know, Will Norris a game. Again, someone like Saïss, I don't think he'd begrudge, you know, Morgan Gibbs-White taking the place for the last game again if it means he's going to stay injury free for the World Cup. So, but like I say, Nuno's not one for sentiment, but I do hope he makes a few changes. Yeah,
and we've seen Nuno make changes in the cup competitions, and to be fair to him, when he has made changes, the team have performed quite well. So you'd even back a second string Wolves squad to go and get a result, wouldn't you?
You'd back a second string Wolves team to do pretty well in this division, to be honest. Judging on what we've seen, Southampton away in the Carabao Cup, they pretty much convincingly beat them there on their own turf. The Man City game, which of course everyone remembers, took them all the way to penalties. One of only two domestic teams to not concede against Man City this season. You know, that was very much with the second string team, which is what bodes so well for next season. You know, with the squad that they've got, that's why a lot of people think that the squad they've got now is already good enough to comfortably survive in the Premier League. And against Swansea as well, they gave Swansea a really good game, or 2 games rather, in the FA Cup. Obviously, they had a bit of a resurgence around that time. You know, Carlos Carvajal came in and improved them immediately, and Wolves did very well to hold them at Molineux with 10 men, I think it was at the time, and then narrowly beaten away at the Liberty. So these guys have proved that they can handle themselves against good opposition. It's Sunderland on Sunday, or should be getting a result there, and I think they can afford to bring a few of these guys in and still get the result they need.
There we go. So maybe we could be expecting a couple of fresh faces at Sunderland this weekend, but I wouldn't bank on it with Nuno's lack of sentiment. We'll soon see. You can follow Tim and Nathan Jude. They'll be at the game. And for all your Wolves coverage, make sure you stay with us at expressandstar.com.